Alright, this is Mr. Gillum, and today we are going to add multiple addends together. And basically addend is just a fancy word for the parts that we're adding together. So we're going to have multiple integers that we're adding together today. And there are a couple different ways that I suggest that you solve, or you find the sum of these addends. And one of the things that you should probably do is find all the positives and find how many total there are positive. Find how many total there are negative, and then use like the chips, think about the chips or think about your number line and just make it one problem. So add all the positives together and get that positive number, add all the negatives together, get that negative number, and put them together. Or just do it right in order. Start on the far left and go right in order so that you know which ones you've added and which ones you haven't. All right, so there are two different strategies. We're going to do those today, and we're going to start with the second strategy here. When I'm looking at this problem, I only see three numbers here, three addends, and what I need to do is I need to add them together. So we've done a couple different things. We've used chips, we've done a number line, and that's preferably what I'd like you to use is the number line. So here we go. I'm going to start at -2, and in fact, I'm just going to draw this number line right here. Why not? And it looks like my numbers, going to be a lot of negatives. So I'm going to start 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I think that'll be enough room. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0, 3, 2, -5, 4, 3, 2. There's -8, I guess. -5's in the wrong spot. I was wondering about that. There we go. Okay, so I'm going to start at -2. That's going to be my starting point. And it doesn't matter which number you start at as long as you use all the numbers. And we're going to add 5 to it. So now I'm over here, and I'm going to subtract 9 from it. And there I am. My answer is going to be -6. Okay, -6. Hard to see that. -6. There we go. So we're using the same number line, same idea. It's going to be a lot of work to write out a bunch of chips, but if we look at our number line every time, that might be helpful. So now I'm going to start at, make my new number line, and I'm going to start up here, and I'm going to make sure I have plenty of room for this one. 15, 14, 13, 12, 11, 10. And then 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. Okay. So now you guys have a number line handout that you can use to help follow along. But Mr. Gillum doesn't have that in front of him, and I want you to be able to see it as well. So I'm going to start at 7, 6, 7 right here. I'm going to start by going backwards 12. Oh my gosh, Mr. Gillum did not make his number line long enough. So let's see here, -1, -2, -3, -4, -5. So I'm at -5. And now I'm going, so I've used the 7, that's where I started. I've used the -12, and now I'm adding 8 to it. So I'm going to go back in the positive direction. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Right there. And so my solution is 7 plus -12 plus 8 equals, the sum is 1, 2, 3. All right, now that seems like a lot of work. So another strategy I could use is I could put all the negatives together and all the positives together. So what I notice is I have a +7 and a +8. That makes 15. I knew that already. And I also have a -12. If I'm adding -12 to 15, I also know mental math that I'm at 3. 15 minus 12, or 15 plus -12, same thing, it's just 3. Okay? So let's look at this next one here. It says -5 plus -7 plus -8 plus -10. Now, I see all negatives. Every single one is negative. And as I add negative to a negative, it just keeps getting bigger and bigger and bigger, deeper, deeper, deeper in the hole. Keeps going lower and lower and lower. So I'm just going to do the new strategy here. I'm going to say -5 plus -7. That I know is -12. I add the numbers and I keep the sign. And I'm going to rewrite the rest of the problem here so I don't forget where I'm at. And -12 plus -8 is -20. And I still have that plus -10 on there. And -20 plus -10, -30. Okay, so that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to use my little strategy to do all that. Okay. Once here I say I have two positives, a 4 and a 15. And remember, the sign right in front of the number always stays with the number. Okay, I see 4 and 15 would make 19, so I can add them like that. Now, we talked about this in class too. If I were to adding 1 plus 8 or 8 plus 1, it's much easier to add 8 plus 1 because it's only one spot away. If I do 1 plus 8, it's 8 spots away. So be smart about this. You can add numbers in either direction with getting the same answer. And now I have, let's use a different color for this one. I also have negative 8 and negative 7. When I add those together, I get a negative 15. So what I'm really doing is I'm saying 19 plus negative 15, or 19 minus 15. Same thing. I know the answer will be 4. Now let's do a few word problems. Those are always fun. It says John and Spike went golfing. Now remember, in golf, the lower the score, the better your score is. You don't want to have the least amount of strokes as possible. On the first 9 holes, John scored were 0, negative 1, 2, negative 2, 0, 0, 3, and 1, and 1. Spike scores were those scores. Who had the better score in terms of par after 9 holes? So first thing we got to know is, what was John's final score? We need to know what John's score was. So I'm going to start with a 0. And I'm going to add all the numbers together. 0 plus negative 1 is negative 1. Plus 2, okay, if I'm at, you know what, let's just draw a little number line here. I think that's going to be the most helpful right now. 0, 5, 5, negative 5. Okay, so we're starting at 0 right here, and we're moving back 1, negative 1, then we're adding 2, and then we are subtracting 2 again. Oh, those were additive inverses. And then we're moving 0, we're moving 0, we're moving 3, we're moving 1, and then we're finally moving 1 more. So I ended up with 4. And I'm going to say that was John's score. Was a positive 4. Okay. And now let's look at Spike's score. So I added all these numbers up, and what I decided they were is 4. Spike's turn, and we're going to go in pink with Spike. Spike started at 0 right here, and he went back 2, and then he went down another. He got a negative 1, so birdie, and up 3. So he's back where he started at 0, and up 3 more, and then up 2 more, and then back 2, and then back 2 again. Then he didn't move, then he went up 1, so it looks like John was 2, or sorry, Spike was 2. A score of 2. And be careful, because this negative is up here, and it goes with this 2. So don't forget that's a negative 2. So 0, negative 2, negative 3, 0, 3, 5, 3, 1, 2. Yep, 2. Spike is 2. So the better score is actually Spike. Spike has the better golf score. All right, Spike. He had the lower amount of strokes. Take a look at another one here. Mary opened an account with $500. During the first month, she put in $250, took out $20. Withdrew means you take out your money. Withdrew another $65, then put in $100. How much did her account have at the end of the year? Let's just think about this. I'm starting with $500. And then it says she put in another $250. So $500 plus $250. That's $750. She took out $20. So we're taking away $20. So now I have $730 after I take out $20. Then I take out another $65. Oh, good point for review right here. We're not using calculators. If I can't take 0 minus 5 because that gives me a negative number, I need to borrow 10 from my 3. That gives me 10 ones, and 110 is the same thing. So if I take away a tens digit, I add 10 to my ones digit. And 10 minus 5 is 5. And oh, once again, 2 minus 6. That will give me a negative number, but I know my answer shouldn't be negative. So I'm going to borrow 100 from my hundreds digit, and I'm going to add it on to my tens digit. 12 minus 6, 6, and finally 6. All right, so 665. Now I have my 65, and now I'm depositing, I'm putting more money into the bank account. So I'm adding on another 100. So at the end of the day, I have $765. Now it could ask me something, so this will be my answer. It could ask me something like, did she save money or did she spend money? Well, we would say she saved money because she started with 500 and now she has 765, right? So just make sure you read the question at the end so you know what to answer. It says, while playing follow the leader, students were directed to take 5 steps forward, 3 steps back, 4 steps forward, 6 steps back, and then 2 steps forward. Where did the students end up in relation to where they started? You know what? I think that this would be modeled best with a number line. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to draw a number line. And there's 0. Okay, and let's just... Now obviously students can't walk negative. There's no negative steps, right? But as far as position goes and distance goes, we can tell how far they moved from where they started. If we call 0 the starting point, okay, and we'll call this steps to the right, or we'll say, I guess it doesn't say right, it says forward, and we'll call this to the left or backwards. Okay, so let's take a look here. It says that if we're starting here, we're just going to call the starting point at 0. And we decided to take 5 steps forward. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now we're there. Okay, so we went our 5 steps forward. Then from there, the new position, we went 3 steps back. So now we're here. And then we took 4 steps forward again. Okay, got that. And then we're going to take 6 steps back. Now I'm at 0. And then I'm going to take 2 steps forward. Where did the student end up in relation to where they started? They ended up, since this is the forward side, and we're ended up 2 to the in front of 0, we're going to say they ended up, the student, should probably use a different color. The student ended up 2 steps forward from where they started. Okay, and there you go. That's one way you learned today, just adding multiple addends together, or multiple different numbers. And don't forget about our models, our chip models or our number line models, and that should help us to remember whether we're getting bigger or smaller and whether our answer should be positive or negative or even which direction we're moving. So that's it for today.